Hello, everyone. I guess this is video 2 for the day. I am well into being intoxicated, my day off, and I've been arguing back and forth with a conservative on my Facebook feed about Obamacare, of the Affordable Care Act. Uh, Classic arguments: Obama lied, people lost their insurance. 6 million people were dropped because of a glitch, and therefore health insurance is bullshit. The conservative, Republican, Kool-Aid drinking, the whole bit. I'm not thrilled with everything Obama has done, but I do like my health insurance. I wish it was cheaper. I wanted single payer. I wish it had been free and not affordable. Because even affordable is a bit of a chunk out of my keister. So in that vein, it made me, or reminded me that I had been thinking again about one of my other videos, or video before last, laziness, and going over in my head what this mythology of where this mythology of laziness came from, and I'm more and more convinced that it is a conservative issue. Conservatives are far more likely, from what I've experienced and what I've seen and been reading, conservatives are far more likely to call someone lazy, particularly if they are on welfare or get a subsidy or some sort, if they get government assistance of any kind. If our tax money goes to someone else, they start getting really sensitive about that whole lazy thing. And I'm still, in fact, I should say, I'm more and more convinced that the whole thing is bullshit. There are people that don't want to do anything, but there's also people that want to do way too fucking much. So I'm going to argue that kind of balances out. And for the people that don't want to do anything, I guess these are some caveats. That don't want to do anything, having the people that want to do way too much contribute to at least a minimum lifestyle so they don't fucking die is the least human act that they should be, I suppose, forced or compelled to do. If you can easily afford your house and there's no concern of you ever starving or of ever being turned away from a hospital or of ever being without transportation, or if there's no fear of any of that, then your obligation should be at least to help some others have at least a full belly at night, if they're, and even if they're lazy. If you are lazy, if that's the way you want to live, off the dime of the government, and you like it, you like your one-bedroom efficiency apartment, and drinking your beers and watching YouTube videos. If that's your minimum and you're fine with that, I'm fine with that. And that's kind of what my getting around back to lazy. Why are people so hung up on this idea of laziness? And I don't quite get it. I'm as lazy as I possibly can be. I have some obligations that I take seriously. I chose these obligations. I could, I suppose, very easily decide not to have these obligations and be lazy and then lose what I have and shrink back down to something else. But I'm personally driven by obligations, and I, as someone that's personally driven by obligations and desire, I'm willing to help people that aren't. Because I don't think it's normal or healthy. I think people that don't want to do anything and just have that minimal lifestyle and only eat at McDonald's and not go out and not strive to want more, I think there's a problem there. I think that's more of either a mental issue or a societal induced issue in many ways. I still don't have my thoughts on laziness hashed out, or how far I'm kind of willing to go with this hypothesis that laziness is a myth. But in arguing with this conservative, it became more and more apparent that more of the issue is, how dare somebody else get something when I have to pay for the same thing? How dare they expect, I'm strawmanning here, of course, the big time. How dare someone expect a minimum lifestyle just because they exist? Because in Mother Nature, in real life, in the dog-eat-dog world, if you don't pull up your goddamn bootstraps and get to work, well, you're going to get killed. You're dead. If a lion didn't want to do anything, it's probably a bad example because lions primarily don't, but if they didn't hold their own weight, well, they would be killed. They would starve to death. They would starve. If they weren't killed, if they didn't want to hunt and they didn't have a social safety net, then they would starve to death and the world would be done with you. Well, the conservative argument. And I like to think that we're better than that. The last time a lion, say, had a nice refrigerator full of food that would hold him over for 6 months, a year. Right, see, there's a problem. We have the technology now, and we have compassion enough, at least some of us do, that I understand that the technology and wealth that we have can give everyone on the planet a decent life without much suffering, without starving to death, without having to watch your child get a preventable disease and watch them waste away and suffer for no reason, when 2 blocks up the road there's a child that got inoculated for it and will never even get it. So I think our higher awareness, our ability to use technology to take our resources and store them instead of where food largely rots in nature, we can store it, some of it almost indefinitely. So we're able to take the wealth of a moment and store that and spread that wealth over a long period of time. And I think with that, the Spider-Man, or Uncle Ben said it probably the best, with great power comes great responsibility. We feel compelled as a species in general to protect our tribe. If you have a neighbor and a family member, and you're both working at a factory, and you're going to protect yourselves, and you understand that they're included, and what happens to them reflects on you. What most people are failing to, or what I see a lot of people failing to do, like, failing to comprehend, is that we now extend, or need to extend, that to the human race, our planet. We have one essentially large room we all live in together, and when enough turds build up in a corner, that's going to make the entire ball stink. And as a empathic, conscious, intelligent being with beings with better technology, I believe we should use that for the betterment of humanity. And if you want a fucking Lamborghini and a mansion and you don't want to pay for or to help pay for anybody else's basic minimum wage, I don't fucking care what you think. You're an evil bastard. And I'm unconcerned with the fairness of uber wealth. And I guess that makes me the tree-hugging, twig-eating, progressive, socialist, whatever you want to call me. I think with our great power, we have great responsibility. And the conservatives and the conservative mind thinking, the conservative paranoia and everything is mine and nothing is shared, that needs to die. That needs to go away. We are beyond that. We don't have a lack of anything. We have a lack of distribution and greed. And I'm going to end that one there. Salute. Enjoy your night off if you have one. If you don't, well, sorry. Peace.